It's beer o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer. Today we got a beer from Weihenstephaner, and this is the tradition. This is a Bayrisch Dunkel, and it's coming in at 5.2% ABV. I'm super excited to review this beer. I'm a massive fan of this brewery. The world's oldest brewery. They've been around for such a long time. I think it's something like 10, maybe off the top of my head, maybe 1060, something like that. I think 1040. There we go. I was 20 years out. 1040. Unbelievable, isn't it? There's the bottle cap on this one. I'm really super excited. More or less very dark brown bottle, so there's going to be no light hitting this bottle, letting any light in. It's going to be kind of super drinkable, super dunkel like, of course. And yeah, no light strike. That's the point. No light strike. What is light strike? Clear glass bottle, green bottle. It lets in light from the supermarket shelves or the sun in the sky, and it kind of reacts with the hops, and it's called skunking. You get this horrible kind of skunkiness going on. But being a dunkel anyway, even if it was in a clear glass bottle, I can't imagine it affecting it too much because it's already a dark beer. It's more about the malts than the hops, this beer. Let's get it out into a glass and see what we get. Look at this. Look at this. Oh, blimey. What a fantastic looking beer. Wow. That looks super, doesn't it? Doesn't that look super? It's almost like a kind of creamy coloured head to the beer. We've got a 2-finger creamy coloured head. Good levels of carbonation as the carbonation rises up the side of the glass. And wow, yeah, that just looks fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. It looks almost like a nut brown ale, that sort of thing. Dunkel meaning dark in Germany, if you didn't know. So a dark beer. There's no sediment in the bottom of the glass. No bits and pieces. And if it was lighter, it would be, well, I'd say it is clear to look at. There's not much in the way of haziness here, even though it's very dark. The beer was kindly sent to us by our channel sponsor, beersofeurope.co.uk. Beers of Europe, the largest online beer store in the UK with a fabulous range of beers from all over the world. If you've been away working, if you've been on holiday, and you found that very special beer that you want to try again back in the UK, the best place to find it is beersofeurope.co.uk. There's a link in the description box of the video. So, without further ado then, look at that carbonation. Let's get into this one. A dark lager aroma. Oh, wow. Nutty, biscuity, bready. Oh, my goodness me. Hoppy as well. There's like a kind of a berry fruit flavour coming through on the aroma, mixed up with all that kind of nutty, biscuity bread. It's a bit like putting a bit of mixed fruit jam or blackberry jam or something on some kind of nutty bread. Oh, fantastic. Let's dive in. Cheers, everybody. Wonderful. A wonderful, wonderful example of a German dark lager, a German Dunkel. Stone the crows. Stone the crows. That nuttiness comes through, that biscuitiness comes through. There's a little bit of bitterness now as I'm speaking, as I'm talking about the other flavours. I'm still tasting flavours in the beer. There's a lot still going on in the mouth. This is going to take a lot of explaining. It's brown bread, fantastic quality brown bread. I always go back to when I drink beers like this. Asda sell this kind of, I'm not sure if Asda's extra special or they've got an extra special range of foods. If you find it in Asda, it's this really dark loaf of bread. It's almost kind of, well, it's probably the same colour as this. A really dark brown loaf of bread, and it's covered in seeds and nuts, and it's fabulous. Fabulous. If you were to buy that and ask them to slice it up in Asda for you and make like a sausage sandwich or something out of that, it's just phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. But the taste of that bread, a little bit of sweetness going on, the nuttiness of the bread, the dark kind of brown husk of the bread, the flavour, it's just brilliant. A lot of that flavour is the same flavour that I'm picking up here. But in a sense, and in a very good sense, it's almost slightly wort-like. If you've ever been to a brewery, and if you've ever seen them brewing and they're transferring the liquor from one tank to the next, mash tuns of boiled kettle, then they usually have a little tap where you can kind of pull off some of the wort and have a warm glass of wort. It of course, it's not beer yet, it's just warm, sugary solution, isn't it? It's wort. That sugary solution goes on, and then the process goes on, and the sugars get eaten by the yeast, and then it becomes beer eventually, very kind of quick with that. There's a lot more processes along the way, but essentially that's what happens. The sugary solution gets munched up by the yeast, and then the yeast produces that kind of alcohol, and that's what we get in our beer. But there's definitely a level of sweetness in this beer, and there's definitely a level of a little bit of wortiness. There's definitely a little bit of wort coming through in the flavour. But it's bitter, there's some stinging nettle flavours going on. It's biscuity, nutty, bready, sweet here. Bitter, kind of stinging nettle hops here, slightly peppery and spicy. Again, I mean, look, we've been talking for 8 minutes now. Look at this, look at the head retention on this beer. There's a reason why this brewery's been around for so long. Oldest brewery in the world, is because they keep producing terrific beer. Absolutely wonderful. I'm going to rate this one. It's a Stone the Crows 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10 from Real Ale Craft Beer. Please put your comments in the comments box. Subscribe to our daily beer and food reviews. Give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom. Cheers.